Welcome back to the Red Dirt Road podcast. We got Matt Chase here. He was on before with our Brand New Man album review. So how's it going, Matt?
Going great. Everything's been a lovely blessing. A lot of good things have occurred, and I'm just glad to be talking some Brooks and Dunn again with you. My favorite.
One of the best guests we've had on here. I think your fans and your friends and family definitely were listening to that podcast because it's got one of the more popular episodes that we had was that one.
Awesome, man.
And it was a good episode to be on. It was the album review. And this one is a good one too. That Ain't No Way to Go. One of my favorite Brooks and Dunn songs. I think probably one of yours as well. Before we get into that recent trip that I went, have you ever been to Tennessee?
Drove through it on the way to Texas, never stopped. No.
We traveled through East Tennessee a lot this month. It's kind of like a real like road trip kind of trip. We just went through all these small towns and stayed actually at little hotels like your song. I haven't really stayed at a hotel in a while because I've been traveling to see friends, and so I stay at their place a lot. Occasionally we stay Airbnb, but this one was actually one Airbnb and then a few hotels. So
what any good hotels, bad hotels, horror stories?
Every place we went to got better. So it started off not great. And I don't really want to shout out these hotels. I mean, none of them were like horror stories, but it was like the first one, it was like, we don't have any coffee or breakfast. Next one, we got some coffee. Next one, you get coffee and breakfast. And then after that was a super nice one. It's south of Maryville or Maryville, I think they call it there. Some Airbnb, I think it's Dragon City something. So if anyone is going to East Tennessee, check that one out. It's phenomenal. Not too bad of a price. So if you're going to like the Smoky Mountains or anything like that, that's a great one. So this song, seventh song off Hardworking Man, it was the last single released by Brooks and Dunn from this album, written by Brooks and Dunn and Don Cook. And before I get a little bit into the breakdown of the song, it peaked at number 1 on the country charts. It was, I believe, the number 11 song at the end of the year. It was actually only number 1 though for 1 week. So that's pretty impressive. That was the number 11 song by the end of the year for the country songs in the US, but only peaked at number 1 for 1 week. So it's sustained that success, but not at number 1 for the rest of the year. Number 3 it peaked at in Canada. So this is kind of my breakdown of the song. It's got a little 10-second intro. And let me pull up some of the lyrics to this song and we will go through. So yeah, as you were just saying before we got started here, first 2 lines of this: lipstick letter crossed the mirror this morning, said goodbye baby, you left without warning. And I had searched lipstick letter, and the first thing that pops up is this song, and it gives a little bit of a description later down in the Google search about what it is. It's kind of just, I think if you might see in a movie or something like that, someone writes in lipstick on a mirror.
It's basically a Dear John letter in lipstick format. That's what she's saying goodbye through her lipstick. Very clever, huh?
So I wonder, is this like the first time that this phrase was really used like that? Did it have a, like, if someone before this song, did that even have a description or a name before?
As a songwriter, I wish I wrote it. It is a very captivating first line to a song. It captures your attention right from the start, and it makes you just pulls you right into the song. That's the first I've ever heard of it in country, rock, blues. And I don't know for a fact if it's been used somewhere else, probably since this song has been out. I'm sure someone has kind of stole it a little bit, I'm sure, since this song, but before this song, I don't recall one.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I searched it and it's like the first thing that pops up is just Ronnie Dunn's face. that's the music video for this song. And you really got to scroll down, and there's not a whole lot. There's a little bit of things with this phrase, but I don't know. And so basically the first verse is just saying that the girl kind of walked out on him. And then the chorus comes in. He says that basically leaving without saying goodbye, ain't no way to go. And then the second verse, I pulled out the last three lines of this. It says, train whistle blowing down the tracks, lonesome sound says she ain't coming back. It's such a cold blow from out in the dark. So pretty good writing there. It kind of relates the train to her leaving, and the sound, I guess, of her leaving to the sound of a train whistle. Very eerie sound. So I thought that was pretty good. And then as the second chorus, so only two verses and two choruses, but it kind of stretches out, so it's not a super short song. So what else do you think about this song?
I love the second verse, like you were saying. I'm more encapsulated with the first part of it, where he's like, guess I'll do a little wishful drinking, make a whiskey wish upon a star. I find that to be really exciting from a songwriter standpoint. Wishful drinking instead of wishful thinking, the play on words using the star in the sky. Very well done. I give them an A+ on the lyrics on this song. They really did it good.
That's an interesting thing they said. Yeah, because he says he uses the word thinking in the first line. Getting nowhere, I'm tired. So instead of wishful thinking, he says he's tired of thinking. And then next line, I do a little wishful drinking. That's a common theme in these Brooks and Dunn songs. It's always like something happens with the woman. Usually she leaves. And then it's like they start drinking a little bit, and depending on the song, sometimes it's like, it's a good vibe and just kind of a, it's a happy night. And then sometimes like this, it's more of a not so great ending, seems like. I love this song. This song, 10 out of 10 for me. It's one of my favorite Brooks and Dunn songs. And I just wrote down a list of things that I thought really stood out to me. Ronnie Dunn's incredible voice, I think, comes out in this song more so than a lot of the other ones. My Maria is another one where his vocals comes out. I think this one does as well. Grade A writing. Brooks and Dunn are both on this. Ian Don Cook. I think those are some of their best songs when all three of those guys are writing. And I thought, the lonesome kind of sound is almost kind of like a Hank Williams song, kind of amped up. Like I could hear Hank Williams playing this song.
Senior.
Yeah, Hank Williams Sr. And so that's really cool, using the words like lonesome, and it's got that eerie kind of guitar in that second verse and train whistle, stuff like that. Very relatable, but I thought that it takes this sort of timeless storyline, but it makes it feel like fresh and new, which is just very good. Every songwriter probably wants to do that, something that's relatable, but doesn't sound boring and, kind of like everyone else would write it. So love this song. I think it's one of the best Brooks and Dunn songs. It's kind of similar to their other ones, but then also just doesn't sound like a copy of their other songs, So that's all I have to say. I have nothing bad to say about it. I think it's awesome.
Well, three things I love about this song is, one, his vocals are so difficult to even get close to, having even to try to sing it on stage once. I'm telling you, when he hits that note on go and he holds it and he rides it, very, very difficult. I'm not Ronnie Dunn. And so I looked at it, I said, guys, we might have to do something else. This song is, he's amazing vocally. So he's showing off his vocals here. And I'm telling you, the things that he can do in his pitch and his range are bar none. And I just can't find anybody else in the industry that can do these things with his vocals. Two, I think the song is written to a way, it's a story. So you're instantly brought into, you're actually seeing this happening. You see the bathroom, you see the mirror, you can see the lipstick, the way that they wrote it the prose in the song bring you into the story, and you're already just captured into the story. I love it. And 3, this goes back. This song kind of reminds me of their older school days song. I could see this on Brand New Man and being very popular.
I think his vocal is almost kind of like a combination of like Hank Sr. and like Luke Combs. You know, he's got the powerful, like Luke Combs, phenomenal singer, but he doesn't have, you know, the lonesome kind of sound like Hank Williams and Ronnie Dunn. And then Hank Sr., you know, not as good of a singer, quite honestly, as Luke Combs or Ronnie Dunn.
Right.
But if you combine the both, it's like, that's what this is. And so I've never heard of a cover version of this song ever. I'm sure if I searched it somewhere, there would be one. But yeah, there's a reason that even though it's a popular song, that no one's really touching it. So it's very, very hard to duplicate some of these songs.
Extremely difficult. That's why I leave it to them, because they are awesome at this, and I can listen to that song every day, all day. It's a mixture of some old school country with the influence of some modern day country, and with his vocal, it brings that both of those elements to life here.
Sweet. So we're gonna get into your song Old Hotel Rooms, correct?
Correct.
And this is going to be your first official single. Do you got a Spotify account?
That's where it's going. On January 1st of 2022, it will be released as my first single. So we're going to have the full EP now. It's going to be an EP, which means 7 songs only on this album. It's just going to be.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good though for an EP. You know,
I'll take it. Yeah, they said the company who I'm working with in Los Angeles told me, you know, that full album would just take too long. We want to get these songs out to the public on social media. So we're going to start off with our EP. We could work on a full album after this. But yeah, the song's called Old Hotel Rooms. I'm super excited about it. It was a simple song that for my job in construction, when I work in Columbus and Cincinnati, I have to get put up in hotels from Monday through Thursday. And I have to sleep and drink and eat and use the shower and all that stuff in a hotel. And it just really grates on me. I really don't like it. I don't care if it's a 6-star hotel. I just don't like being kind of penned in, caged in to this room. And I feel like I'm in a prison. So when he told me, the boss, one day we're going back to the hotel, I was really depressed and blue. I went home that day. This melody in my head formed. I wrote the song right there. I went up into my studio, laid down a video of it, just me performing it that day, and put the phone down, didn't think anything of it, thinking it's done and over. You know, nobody's going to see it. It's just me having fun. Well, just about a month ago, a producer from LA got his eyes upon it, and he saw it and contacted me through my Facebook and asked me if he could turn this into something bigger and launch this as a release for me, so the whole world can hear it, and not just my Facebook friends or Ohio family. So I told him, of course. And so it's been a roller coaster ride ever since.
That's awesome news. Yeah, I've got a lot of artists on here that are kind of smaller artists like you, but I'd love to have them, you know, get some success. You know, that's phenomenal. That this guy, did he say like how he found you? If it was someone told him about you, or he was searching?
We had like friends, like I had friends that he had friends. And so it said people you may know came up. Well, next thing I know, he asked me to be his friend. I had, accept. And then he went through my page and saw all of my videos. When he came across that one, he said he stopped and he had to watch it 3-4 times. When I asked him what separated me from the rest, I wanted to know. I said, where did I stand out over these other people? We're all good. We're all creative. What made you, look at me longer than those? And he just says, you have it with your emotion in your voice. He says there was a lot of pain and emotion in it that caught my attention. And the writing of the song, he goes, your syllabalism and the writing of the song was amazing. And he goes, I want the whole world to hear this. And I want to shoot a video, the film crew, the whole 9 yards, and really making this awesome. That's what I've been doing over the last month. I've been in a recording studio. in North Royalton to get this done, to lay vocal tracks and guitar tracks down. And then I'm sending all of that over to them right from the studio. We send it to LA. And I'm dealing with an amazing producer. His name is Robert Roth. And he is an amazing producer over there. He's worked with the Scorpions, the Police, some new girl now, Zaza, her name is. She's getting famous over there. So he's just really an amazing, he's a German now, a sound engineer, and he is amazing at what he does. And I'm just enjoying it. We're going to be adding symphonies, like a quartet type of thing with violins on the song. So we're going to make it really elaborate and pretty, and we're excited about this.
So you were shooting the music video. You haven't shot it yet, but you're shooting it in this area.
I'm going to be shooting it here, correct, with a list of things that, like, for the scenes that I have to do. And then they're going to be putting that in. They already have scenes over there already done, and they're going to put me into the video through the scenes that I'm creating here, through the truck stop, going to the hotel room, actually filming these moments. And then they are going to, and I ship that over to them through the Google files, and then they upload it, and then movie magic happens. So
awesome.
Pretty cool.
So if you want to play the song, I've heard the song, but I've not heard it live. So I'm excited to hear it. This will be probably the first time that people have heard the song, and they'll be able to hear it on Spotify, and the studio recorded version January 1st.
I have a treat here. Just finished up a third verse after everything was said and done. LA said to me, the song is too short. They said it's only like 2 minutes and 53 seconds. He says, we need it to be more up to around 4. It helps the video do more scenes, more cool things. So they asked me if I could create a third verse to this song. So it was the first time I ever been asked to do that. And this is the first time I ever had to add a third verse to the song. But before I start, Rodeo Clown Cowboy is the man that found me and had brought me into his big production studio with, like I said, Robert Roth. He's the one that actually found me. So much thanks goes out to him for this dream coming true. If you haven't seen him, his name is Dean South. Check him out on Facebook, his own page. Check out his videos. They're amazing. They look like Hollywood. It's really, really cool. Dean South, he's the Rodeo Clown Cowboy. He's the guy that went on my page and found me and handed me off to his production studio, who I've been also working with him as well. He's a great songwriter, amazing songwriter. He's been doing this for 40 years in the music business. So we've been having a lot of conversations almost nightly. So check out him, check out Rob Roth. The guy's an amazing producer. And my thanks go to my family and all of my friends and everybody, all my fans out there. Please, I truly want you to really believe me when I say all of your support. You've always been in my corner. You always believed in me, even at times when I may have not believed in myself. And I want to tell you that support and belief has brought me to this point in my career and journey. And I want you all to know I am truly, truly grateful and honored to be able to perform and write for you. This one's called Old Hotel Rooms. Room service call, checking in again, asking me if I could use a little whiskey or gin. He knows I'm down, he saw it at the desk. He told me, son, I can see this day ain't been your best. I'm in an old hotel room on a Tuesday night. This place is a prison, man, this ain't right. You got your memory grooving all through my brain. I cannot escape it, I can't get away. I just been looking for something that I can do. 'Cause anything's better than thinking of you. I try to close my eyes, but it's you that I see. These old hotel rooms are killing me. I tell him no, I'll be okay. I'll turn on the TV and let the noise take me away. Maybe a shower or two. Hell, I might take 3. Anything to help me not think of you and me. I'm in an old hotel room on a Tuesday night. This place is a prison, man, this ain't right. You got your memory grooving all through my brain. I cannot escape it, I can't get away. I just been looking for something that I can do. 'Cause anything's better than thinking of you. I try to close my eyes, but it's you that I see. These old hotel rooms are killing me. The thought of you dancing in my head, keeping me from sleeping even as I lay here in bed. I toss and turn, whispering your name, feeling like when we're apart my life just isn't the same. I'm in an old hotel room on a Tuesday night. This place is a prison, man, this ain't right. You got your memory grooving all through my brain. I cannot escape it, I can't get away. I just been looking for something that I can do. 'Cause anything's better than thinking of you. I try to close my eyes, but it's you that I see. These old hotel rooms are killing me. They're killing me.
Woo! That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is the first time we've had people perform on here, and we've had kind of a live in-person thing, but this is the first time we've had kind of both at the same time. So this is, I mean, I hope the audio sounds, I hope it ends up sounding
You got
good.
nice acoustics in here, so you really do. So I think it should be okay. I hope it's not too loud, but if not, I think I think it'll sound good. I hope people out there enjoy it. Like I said, it's my song that I wrote, and those are my true feelings. What everybody just heard is my true feelings about the song and about staying in hotels. You know, I didn't have to make up something when I wrote the song. I just had to think about what do I feel about being in a hotel, and that's basically what goes on. So
Yeah, I mean, hotels very impersonal, not very homey. And well, I just mentioned the trip that I was on. I was on in some hotels, but that wasn't really for very long periods. So were you in hotels for long periods of time? It seems like
yeah,
that sounds like a completely different thing. Like
right.
I can imagine if you're in a hotel for
Months.
3 days, it's much different than a long period
Cincinnati.
of time.
I was at an Embassy Suites. I love the place down in Cincinnati. It actually was in Kentucky. It was the borderline was right over across the Ohio border in Kentucky, and Embassy Suites, great place, loved it, clean, really great hotel. It just was, it's just a hotel in general. I just need to be home. I'm a homebody. I love to be around, my kids, my dog, my mom, go see my mom down the road, check up on her. And when you're in a hotel, you're kind of being pushed away from that. And it really makes my heart heavy. And it was through that heaviness of my heart that song wrote itself. And I'm just blessed to have somebody else out there to hear that and see that through the video I made, and looking forward to making this song a lot bigger and better than what I started.
So will the song have a band or what?
The song is going to have, bass and drums. It's going to have all the musical elements on it. Also a quartet with violins. Like I said, Robert Roth, the producer over there in LA, is the one that's going to be doing it, creating all of this for me and putting it. It's already been in. I've already laid the vocals and the guitar track down in the recording studio. I had shipped it over there. They now have it, and they're now adding all the other musicians. They're bringing them in to put them on the song to make it full. And so I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited to get this video shot. Looking forward to all the shoots that are coming with that. And this is just a beautiful moment. I'm blessed. And I just want to say to everybody, thank you for helping me along the way. Everybody's been so helpful. You, Marshall, for instance, you. I want to thank you in person here, right here and now. You reached out to me about 6 months ago, 4, 5, 6 months ago. And little things like that mean a lot to me. You just, you've been kind and helping me out along my journey. And that's the people that I want to truly thank, because you guys are awesome. I love you.
Hey, you've helped this podcast too. It's been a mutual helping. I reached out to my Uncle Craig, and he was the one guy. He said you'd be the guy. You'd be interested, and it's been awesome. I mean, obviously, I think that your own music was how you were discovered, but yeah, everything helps, I think.
Yeah,
so.
KK, your Uncle Craig has been a very huge musical mentor to me, and I want to thank him as well. He's another one of those pieces in my life that people for some reason always have wanted to help me and to push me in the right direction, even when I don't even ask. It's just, I'm just blessed to have friends like him, like you, and everybody that just has always supported me. KK, I love you. You have a big piece of my soul and how you have got me here today. And I can't wait to look at him and shake his hand and give him a big hug for all of this help that he's given me.
Awesome. So I got one last question. It maybe two-part. So who is your favorite artist, favorite country music artist right now? And which country music artist or band helped inspire this song, the sound? I know it was inspired by the hotels, but as far as the sound, which artist or band kind of inspired this one the most?
I would say right now, currently going, in my opinion, for my liking of music, is Chris Stapleton. I mean, there's just hands down. Chris Stapleton has come a long way, and he's an amazing vocalist. He's actually like a blues vocalist, to be honest. But he has the country element, and he's been in Steel Drivers. He's been in multiple bands that are like country. And Chris Stapleton is really where I like to go to when I'm listening to country on the radio. I'll listen to all his stuff backwards and forwards. Amazing artist and songwriter. This song, when I wrote it and wanted to lay vocals down and a melody to it, I would have to say the one person that kind of would ring in my head when I was doing it would have to be George Strait. I think George Strait would, really make this song amazing. And I just think his voice on this song is really sweet and on it. And so, yeah, George Strait's always in my thoughts whenever I'm writing. He's the king of country for me, and there's no one finer than him. So George Strait is my favorite solo country artist for sure.
Yeah, I like both of those. I'm not an expert on Chris Stapleton. I haven't really listened to a ton of his music. I've heard Tennessee Whiskey, and I've heard some of his newer stuff. And we were actually, when we were heading down to Tennessee, we were listening to David Allan Coe. He had the original version, and I love him as a country music artist, but Chris Stapleton, his voice just blows his out of the water, and it's a completely different sound. It doesn't even sound like the same song almost. And he might have the best voice to use for That Ain't No Way to Go. Now that I think about it, because he's got a great voice like Luke Combs, but it is more of a bluesy, so I'd like to see him cover this song.
Chris Stapleton, he could sing his ABCs. He just has this smooth blues voice to him that it just carries me away when I put his music on. And yeah, his wife actually, if you've ever seen him in concert, his wife is always on stage with him, either playing the tambourine, doing backup vocals, harmonies. She travels everywhere with him, and she goes to that. That's a cool element. I like that as well, to watch and see how they interact on stage. Really cool.
And then George Strait, love him as well. I mean, that's the king of country is what they call it. And so he might be the best country solo artist.
George Strait.
I haven't really dived into which one. I mean, but Merle Haggard, George Strait, those two come to mind to me as, the top two. So
Waylon Jennings as well.
Yeah.
Is another one that I look to. George Strait just kind of laid down the new old country. We call him old country today, but he brought that 60s, 70s style country into the 80s and kind of changed it to where Brooks and Dunn, right, took it to a new level as well in the 90s. And I'm just telling you, George Strait is a catalyst for this modern country. He kind of started the whole role, keeping it Texas, keeping the fiddle in it, keeping that swing, Texas swing in his songs. He is from Texas. But he has endured his career. He has endured tragedy. He has endured, all of these troubles in his life, and he always persevered. So it's through his perseverance as an artist is where I really, really love to admire and look up to him. And George Strait will always be my number one.
I love that he's kind of stuck with that kind of country music. He's not really straight into some kind of pop stuff or anything like that. He came out with an album. I don't know, it's possible maybe even had one since then, but in 2019 he had an album. I don't remember what it's called, and it was like a solid album, and it's like he's been coming out with albums like it's like I think I looked and it was like from like his first album into like the 2010s, like he had an album like at least every other year. It was something like that. Like it was nuts. It was like Amarillo by Morning is a phenomenal song that it wasn't written by him. I think actually that was a cover, I believe, but it's phenomenal version of the song. That's probably my favorite one of his.
His first song that came out was called Unwound, and it was an amazing song. It was his first single on the radio, I believe back in 1981. And Garth Brooks actually said he was in his truck with his dad as a young lad, and he heard the song Unwound by George Strait, and he said, that's what I want to do. When he heard that song in an interview, Garth Brooks even said, that's what I want to do. And it was through George Strait that got him going on this journey. So pretty cool.
Yeah, I hear probably other than Hank, as far as name drops in country music, I think people say Hank, and then the next one I think is George Strait. You hear it in all these songs, so he definitely inspired a ton of country artists in the 90s, 2000s, and so on.
And still today.
Yeah. So that's going to be it. I think for today, we covered this song well, and excited. We'll have you back here eventually on maybe a non-Brooks and Dunn song, kind of mix it up or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe we've done a George Strait. We have not done a Chris Stapleton. So I'll see. We'll see about that. So yeah, thanks for coming on here, and I can't wait for the EP too to come out. So I guess one final question. So do we have a date for the EP, or is that
summer of 2022? The summer of 2022 is when they'll all be as a package deal to be able to get on Spotify, iTunes, all those social media things. but the release of the single Old Hotel Rooms will be available to everyone on January the 1st of 2022. Like I said, I'm already, all the songs are written. I'm excited about Concrete Cowboy, a song that my recent song I just wrote, that's going to be on there. And it may even be, I'm still wrestling with it. The title of the album may be Concrete Cowboy, Matt Chase, Concrete Cowboy. So I will, next time we come here and I talk to you, I'll be able to give you the finals on all of that detail stuff. But yeah, we're excited about it. This is really good news. Thank you to everybody. Marshall, thank you to you. You guys have been a blessing to everything that I've been doing here in music. And I seriously want to thank you and appreciate everybody for listening.
Awesome. And when that single comes out, I will add it to, I don't know if you know this, but we have a Red Dirt Road podcast playlist on Spotify, and I add every song that we cover on here. And I also, if there's if there's a guest we have on here and we talk about their song, I add it. So when that song comes out, I will add it just after That Ain't No Way to Go. So I'll put it in there. So
awesome.
Thanks for coming on here, and we will see you guys next week.